Alright, welcome back to the Pumpernickel podcast.
Pumpernickel!
We back for another week. This is Elvin.
Black Mike.
White Mike.
Eddie.
And Nathaniel.
And as usual, per usual, we're just going to jump straight into it. We were having a discussion earlier about the difference between, like, what defines a sandwich taxonomically. Like, what exactly is a sandwich?
The genus of sandwich?
The
kingdom, phylum, class,
yeah,
order.
exactly. It's a family, genus, species of a sandwich.
Well, no, it's actually a decent argument because a hot dog I wouldn't consider a sandwich, but oddly enough, I would consider a deli wrap a sandwich. But those are still similar genus.
Weenie sandwich sounds way better than hot dog. I'm gonna just put that out there.
That sounds way weirder.
It does.
Weenie sandwich sounds better than hot dog.
You want to eat a weenie sandwich?
It just sounds like a funnier term.
A weenie sandwich sounds like
a slider.
No, it sounds like it's made out of Vienna sausage.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does sound like Vienna sausage specifically. But yeah, go ahead.
It's gonna be a very disappointing hot dog.
That sounds like some sort of slang term in the gay community.
Oh, we're not touching that. All right, next.
Yeah. You mean no offense, LGBTQ like
A, B, C, D, yeah.
Right, community.
A through Z community.
All and not communities not involved with the alphabet.
Right.
And not determinant in letters.
The alphabet is out there.
One of your alphabet ones.
Yes.
But
No, back to the sandwiches. So, obviously a regular 2 pieces of bread and a piece of ham is a sandwich.
Yes.
But it's an open-faced sandwich with only 1 piece of bread. Is that a sandwich? What's the argument here?
Open-faced sandwich.
It's
Is it a
sandwich?
sandwich?
It was on Jeopardy a few days ago. It's called an open-faced sandwich.
Well, yeah, it's an open-faced sandwich,
Next.
but when it's served to you, like,
Is that a
we
sandwich?
went to a restaurant and we got like it said hot chicken sandwich. I was like, I like hot chicken. You know, that's how they make it natural. It's nice and spicy. It's fried. It's in a nice
That's
sandwich.
typically how I eat chicken.
Yeah, like fried and in between 2 buns. I thought this was gonna be delicious. I order it, and lo and behold, what I get is just 1 slice of bread, Texas toast. So it is like the
It's still
size,
good.
Still bread.
right? And it is basically the size of 2 slices of bread, but it's just bread. It's plate bread chicken.
So they should have a footnote saying assembly required.
That's what I do. Because I looked at that shit and literally I cut the chicken in half, grabbed the toast, and like enveloped in it like a hot dog.
Right.
So did you make a sandwich?
I made a sandwich out of it.
Why didn't you ask for a second piece of toast?
I did. They didn't. They were like, "Well, sir, no."
It's
There's no way to deny
It's like
it.
IKEA. It's like, oh yeah, this part's missing, so you go back and get it replaced. Even
Like
though
I
like,
didn't
you
reach
broke it.
you.
They said they could. They said, but it's just a hassle. I was like, whatever.
Just a hassle.
It's a hassle.
I'm paying y'all money. Give me.
Oh, okay. My tips are hassle. Like, I gotta pay extra money on the money I'm already paying. Nah, I'm good.
Like I'm building my own sandwich.
Well,
Right.
it's like places that like specific chefs who like have their recipes for things and they want to adjust them regardless. You know.
What restaurant you were going to that was serving hot chicken and it was so fancy that they were just like, nah, we're not gonna mess
We
up.
can't
the
give you an
enterprise.
extra another piece of bread.
Right, yeah.
Well, no, it wasn't like terribly fancy, but it also wasn't like
Sonny's.
yeah.
Damn.
It wasn't like
Shoney's.
No disrespect to the Shoney's and Sonny's community. Nah.
No,
Disrespect to those communities.
Yo, Shoney's held me down when I was a small child.
Exactly. Disrespect to those communities.
Yeah, this wasn't a Ryan's, all right.
We're not gonna get into that right now. Anyway, back to the subject though.
Yeah, so sandwiches. When you took that piece of bread and folded it over like a hot dog bun, was that a sandwich?
I made it into a sandwich.
Was that a sandwich?
I'm saying it is a sandwich.
So the hot dog is a sandwich. Is what you just said.
White Mike is shaking his head no.
I think it is.
A hot dog is not a
I
sandwich.
said a hot dog is a hot dog, but it
It's
is
in
a
a
sandwich.
completely different family.
What's the
Phylum,
family?
class, order,
What's
standard,
the family of hot dogs, Mike? I guess
What?
there's bratwurst.
It's
And
tubular meat inside of a U-shaped bun.
I think that's a sandwich.
Because then, like, is a
What's the
hero a
burrito?
sandwich? You
Well,
know,
see, the burrito's different.
You mean-
that's what we were just talking
You mean a
about.
Well,
euro?
the hot dog's different.
Huh?
You mean a
Hold on,
euro?
hold on, we're too many going on at once here.
Sorry.
No, you're good. That was good. That was a good question.
So yeah, gyro.
That's a sandwich.
But it's wrapped like a taco or a burrito. So a taco or a burrito is a
But isn't the gyro really just like pita bread, like
roll.
It's a euro, guys.
It's gyro.
it's gyro?
Because in
It's,
America,
yeah, but euro.
it's
Whatever.
a gyro.
That's what it is.
No,
Yeah,
I
euro.
used to work at a Chicago restaurant and we served euros.
Yeah.
And we got so many people that would mispronounce them to the point where we had a sticker with the phonetic pronunciation
Yer.
on the wall and people would
Yer.
still mess it up.
Your
Sorry,
voice.
my grandma mispronounces Chipotle. She says
Chipotle.
Chipotle. And I'm like,
There's that.
I heard white people call it pico de gallo, and
I've heard that.
it's so
Pico de
mad.
gallo.
It's like try, bitch. Like, it's not that hard. Turn the L into a Y. Like,
Yeah.
But yeah, back
Euro
to
anyway,
it.
but-
Does you folding that over make it a sandwich?
I think that's a sandwich because I think when you guys say wrap, like what do you? Because the thing is, here's the clear distinction in my head. Like a wrap to me is just a cold burrito.
Yes.
But like the burrito is all encasing. You've enveloped the meat. Like if I take out a burrito and flip it upside down, no meat's falling. If I flip the other way, no meat's falling. Whereas with a euro, if I put that euro in one hand upside down, meat's gonna fall upside down.
so wrap is at least one end open.
See, if wrap is one end open,
At least one end. Because a wrap, I've
See,
seen wraps with both ends open, so you have like both sides open.
to me that's just a giant ass taco. Let's keep it real.
So is a taco a sandwich?
Yeah, I mean, tortilla is bread, just thinly compressed.
You're sort of going around yourself because of the taco. So is a taco a sandwich?
Yeah, I'm saying taco sandwich.
So then a wrap and a euro would be a sandwich.
I would say
Yeah,
it would be
I'm
the
saying
context, or not just the context, but like we said, like we argued about like the action as well. But I would almost argue like it's also the ingredients, right? Like if you have like two tortillas, I don't think two tortillas are gonna make a sandwich. You know what I mean? Like I think like specifically like a sandwich
Well, that's
is
just
like
what
a
that's
bread.
what the Americans have called it, right? Like you have bread, you put meat in there, that's your
Right.
sandwich.
Like bread and a tortilla aren't the same thing.
Tortilla is bread.
I mean, yeah, but it's made from the same fundamental ingredients, but it's not the same.
But
thing.
it's just elongated.
Right? Huh?
It's just a bigger piece.
No, if you think about it, but that's like characterizing everything the same way. It's like that's a table, but if you put like a post behind it, it becomes a chair. Like it's like
Yeah.
that doesn't. I mean, it makes sense kind of, but it doesn't because those are
No,
two
it's the same
different
thing. It's just like
they're
every
different
region has their
purposes.
because every region has their bread, right? Like here it happened to be sliced bread, in Mexico it's tortilla,
But it's not like
and then there's like pita bread. Like
Right.
they're breads, they're
Right.
just like thinly compressed.
yeah, they're made like they're carbohydrates, but they're not like the same like thing. You know what I'm coming from? Like I see where you're
Well,
coming from
it
as
could be a
well.
tortilla though. I think
Huh?
you'll find that it's a flat bread.
Yeah, I mean,
Made out of corn.
It's like naan.
Yeah.
well, it's made out of corn.
It's like naan.
Huh?
It's like naan.
It's like naan, yeah.
Naan's
Yeah, but
bread.
yeah, it's. I'm saying they're all made from the same fundamental ingredients, right? But the purpose of it is what makes a distinction between them. You know what I mean?
But
Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like it's a sandwich. Like a euro was just because it's not like it's typically in Greece, but that's the sandwich. We just call
but yeah, I guess to
the
go back to
American
my point,
American sandwich
Yeah.
is actually a burger.
I guess
and,
we'll
like,
just
the
agree
ham
with
and
that. But
sandwich.
if we assume that, like, at least from my perspective, I know you don't necessarily agree, but if you assume that everything has a purpose and they're not all just breads, then I would argue that specifically, like, sliced bread is what constitutes a sandwich to me.
So does that mean there's no way you can make a sandwich out of naan?
I don't think it would be called a sandwich, though.
I think a sandwich is two slices of independent bread.
Right.
Sandwiching.
So that's exactly what I said earlier today. Yeah, something earlier today.
Sandwich.
So
But
if that's true, is a lasagna a super club?
Well, that's what. But that's what I argue. Like,
Not
that's
bread,
why.
it's pasta.
That's why I argue
So?
that the ingredients matter because we could say that a tortilla is bread, but it's not the same thing because the purpose, like noodle, like if you go to Italy, like they're not like spaghetti is one variation of noodle, right?
Pasta, yeah.
Theoretically, they're all the same shit. Like it's like you could have like because they're made from all the same ingredients for the most part. Some have variations in like the type of wheat or whatever that they use, but for the most part, you could theoretically make the same argument there that well they're all the same shit, but they're not because they have different purposes. Like spaghetti is gonna hold a pasta or a sauce differently than another type of noodle will.
Rigatoni.
Then a type of chili, yeah. So it's like I would
Yeah, but I think bread is used in the same way as tortilla is used in the American, like Mexican diet.
in the
Because-
Mexican diet.
Yeah,
Okay, I
because-
can see that for the
Yeah,
Mexican
because
diet.
because American typically has like, you get fried chicken, there's like a biscuit, or there is
Right.
a roll. Thanksgiving, right? So
Right.
there's always a bread element. In Mexican cooking, there's always a tortilla.
Right.
That's your bread element.
But-
Right? It serves the same purpose to like.
Oh, I see what you're saying. From a
Yeah.
purpose standpoint, it's about the same thing. But I think about it in terms of the context. Like if you were to keep the context within the culture itself. So if you were to keep sandwiches American, but then you brought tortillas over here, we don't use tortillas the same way Mexicans use tortillas, right?
Right,
Like,
but that's
tortillas
what
are
I'm saying.
strictly-
The taco is a sandwich. It's just like the sandwich is just the American way of saying sandwiching food, right?
Yeah.
Because what does a tortilla do? It's sandwiching. What are you doing? You're
Yeah, you
sandwiching
put like
food.
meat or whatever.
Yeah, because I
tortilla.
mean, like a chicken biscuit's technically a sandwich,
Yeah,
right?
but by that same standard, like if it's just holding in an ingredient, then wouldn't like a dumpling be a sandwich by that
Yeah.
standard?
It's a Chinese like.
That's not
yeah.
like a sandwich though, right? Because
But
that's
not by
well,
your
it's-
American definition.
Yeah, it's,
Well, I mean,
it's
I-
all
that's-
encompassing. So
Right, that's
at that
the thing.
point, it wouldn't be.
But I
a
think that
sandwich.
we're arguing the point of like if you're arguing from the standpoint of if it holds a material.
Yeah, you're just talking about the action of sandwiching, not
Yeah.
the noun.
That's why sandwich is a noun, as a verb. It's to compress, like to hold, like you have two independent things.
Yeah,
and you
because
bring it
that's what I'm
together.
saying. Like that's how you use the tortilla. Like it's not just a taco. You
Right.
break the tortilla apart.
Yeah,
Or sandwich. You
yeah.
sandwich food
That Ethiopian restaurant with the sponge.
with the sponge.
bread.
Yeah.
With
Looks
the
like
injera,
bandage wrap.
the injera bread. Yeah.
And you,
Injera, but
you
it's-
pinch the thing.
But it's
That's
not.
not a
That's not a
sandwich.
sandwich. Yeah,
That's not a sandwich?
that's not
But
a
you're
sandwich.
sandwiching?
But so
Yeah,
like-
you're sandwiching, but
But
it's
it's not sandwiching.
So
it,
what if
though,
you get an
like,
injera bread
Mm-hmm.
and you put meat in there and you put another injera bread and
You
eat
made
it?
a sandwich out of that bread.
So it's a sandwich now.
Yeah, but if you pinch it and eat it like that, it's not a sandwich.
Thank you. Yeah.
So if I got a nacho and put another chip on top of that
You
nacho.
made a nacho sandwich.
So
If
as-
you, if you
so
called
your-
me
so
and
your
said, Mike, I
definition
made a
is-
nacho sandwich, I would think of what you just
Right.
described.
I would exactly think of those.
So
things.
If
your
someone
definition
called
of
me and said,
sandwich
I
is-
just made a sandwich, there's a distinct picture in my mind what a sandwich is. I
But
would
here's the
think
thing:
about
is the problem with that statement though is that if you then had a tortilla and I said I made a tortilla sandwich, that
A
same
quesadilla,
imagery
a
would
quesadilla
then
could
come
be-
in
yeah.
your head.
I think of that thing Taco Bell has, where it's the two,
Right, it's
like the
two-
quesadilla layer.
Right.
Yeah, the quesadilla.
But that's
you
the
get, you
thing
get
is that-
bread and you put cheese and you put another
Yeah.
tortilla. That's a sandwich.
Yeah,
But that's why I think that the
quesadilla
ingredients
sandwich.
Yeah.
have to constitute it differently because it doesn't just make sense in the context of like it has to be like what Mike's first definition was. The same thing I agree with earlier was that it has to specifically be like sliced, either sliced bread or like a bun. Even though I don't know if I would call a bun a sandwich. Is there a sandwich made from bun specifically?
Yeah, if you
Sliders.
got bagels and lox.
Yeah, sliders.
But bagels and lox isn't a sandwich though. Would
Yeah,
you call
it
that a
is.
sandwich?
It's a bagel sliced in half.
Chicken minis, man. Little buns. And like
Yeah.
chicken.
That's definitely a
See,
sandwich.
because Mike's definition is you want two breads sandwiching
Something.
two independent slices of bread
Mhm.
holding some protein source.
They didn't have to be protein.
Does it
It's
even have to
something.
be protein?
Something,
Yeah.
Because in
yeah.
England they have the bread sandwich where it's two pieces of toast and a normal piece of bread, and you put the normal piece of bread in between the two pieces of toast. That's a bread sandwich. So it doesn't have to be the inner ingredient. Doesn't necessarily have to be anything.
That's first off, that's savage.
Yeah, I mean, well, listen, when you're poor, you make a food out of anything.
I
Let's be
guess.
honest, so
Struggle sandwich.
yeah, that's literally a struggle sandwich.
That ice soup.
Yeah, the ice soup. Yeah. What do y'all having? A nice deep bread.
So okay, so with that being said, we'll clarify that a sandwich classified as two independent bread objects sandwiching, quote quote, something in the center of those two pieces of bread.
Yes.
Right.
So does that mean a wrap and a hot dog and a burrito and whatnot are a different family, or they're not?
Oh yeah, burritos were never part of the sandwich.
I mean,
conversation.
according
So how you think that a burrito's separate, but you think like a tortilla? Because it's a tortilla, right? So it's like.
But it's
two
what I just told
tortillas.
you. Did you not pay attention? The burrito was enveloping, and like I can flip it upside down.
Yeah.
You can't do that with a sandwich.
So is that a whole different?
Like if I had a
species of
sloppy
food?
Joe burrito, the sloppy Joe is inside the burrito. If I had a sloppy Joe sandwich and you flip it upside down, sloppy Joe's in the full. Because you have two independent pieces with protein in the middle.
Yeah.
Whereas a burrito, it's like you've encapsulated it in a capsule.
It's a
But you
bomb.
call it
So,
taco
no, I mean,
sandwich though.
But a taco isn't a burrito.
That's true, but you could put contents in a taco and not have it slip out.
But it can.
But a
That's
taco's
big
only one
possibility
piece of
there.
bread.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but I
there's
mean,
only one piece, and it's not a burrito. Like a taco isn't a burrito.
Yeah, so a taco
but
can
we
be a
said
sandwich.
if you wrap the taco over before, you could call it a burrito. Like it constitutes.
Because now you've closed the taco.
Yeah.
The taco was.
So how close does it have to be to then become a burrito?
Like when we talked about it, you closed up the tortilla and made a mini burrito.
what would you call a arepa from Argentina?
I call that a sandwich. An arepa?
That's more like calzone.
That's the Argentina arepa.
That's
That- that
more
was
of a
one
calzone,
piece.
so
yeah.
it's a pocket.
Yeah, it's one
Right,
piece
it's
hollowed
not.
out.
It's not two separate.
It's basically
pieces, yeah.
like a semi. Yeah, they don't
Yeah.
slice it fully.
I
Yeah,
think,
because that's the thing. The
I think
American
we're just making
definition
a
is-
dangerous assumption that a sandwich has to, like, a sandwich or non-sandwich encompasses everything. It doesn't. Sandwich is one classification of a carb, like
I don't think
assembly. I don't think it encompasses everything. I don't think it's like a square circle situation or square rectangle situation where
I
like
think it is.
everything is either a sandwich or
But
not.
see, I agree. I think every region has its quote unquote sandwich and it's done differently. I think you just called it that because we're humans and we give things names, right? Like I call this a table, someone else.
Like
calls
I
it
think
something
it's safe to say
Mess
that
up.
there are other things than just sandwich or non-sandwich.
There are,
Like,
but
there
what-
are other classifications.
So is it? Let's start there.
Uh-huh.
So let's say, just for argument's sake, a sandwich has to be two pieces of some sort of carbohydrate bread material.
Two distinct pieces.
Yep,
Yeah.
two distinct pieces separated
Yeah.
with something in the middle. what does that make a wrap? Is that a sandwich offspring, or is that a whole different species of food?
Well, a wrap is only one piece of something.
Right. So is that
and it's not bread.
So is that a subset of sandwich, or is that a whole other species?
It's a whole other. I'm arguing that it's a whole other thing.
I would agree that it's a whole other thing.
Right.
So that's not even the same species. That's like dogs and
Right.
cats.
That's what I'm saying. Is like we're arguing as if everything either has to be a dog or a cat, when anything could be a hamster or anything in between. Like a taco could be. A taco does not have to be classified as a sandwich. It's an entirely different thing.
Okay.
And there could be subsets of what are tacos within tacos.
Yeah, because in that way you put wraps with tacos.
Right.
That's how I would put it.
Yeah, I would tuck like burritos, wraps, and tacos in the same family.
No, see, burritos and tacos aren't the same family.
So you think tacos and burritos? You think tacos are closer
tacos
to
would be closer
wraps?
tacos would be closer to hot dogs.
Yeah.
Tacos, hot dogs,
And
Yeah.
wraps would be closer to
But you said that
burritos.
burrito is the fallacy in those three things.
Yeah, a burrito can't be it's not a wrap and it's not a
I
it's
think
not a taco.
I think there's an easier way to classify this. I think you put
The-
sandwiches as a family,
Uh-huh.
or as whatever the high level one is, and then wraps as the other high level one. And the subsets would be like arepa under sandwiches, and under wraps you have the
But would we
burrito
call
taco.
arepa a sandwich?
No, see that's the thing. Like the burrito isn't because describe a wrap. What's a wrap?
Piece of tortilla with shit, and then you roll it up like a cigar.
Yeah, but the thing is, every wrap I've seen is
That's a pretty good
open-ended.
description.
You like that?
Yeah,
Every wrap I've seen is open-ended, right? Like an end is open.
One at least.
One is open. And a burrito, there is no open end.
Right, so that's why it'd be a different family. So
Right, so that's the thing. The burrito and the wrap are different, whereas
Yeah.
a wrap is just like a big taco.
But is it a different family though? You get what I'm saying? I'm
I think it
following.
would.
I'm following you entirely. But the issue that I'm having is that like we
You
make
see, now you're sticking to material though, and don't stick to material because you could have like an injera burrito. We have this one spongy bread.
right.
And you
right.
wrapped it. You made
Well, I'm
it-
not saying like the material is that. I'm saying that like you're saying that of the three things that we mentioned, it was taco, wrap, and burrito. Like you could make a taco into a wrap, right?
oh, you
could
can
make
the other end over.
Yeah, you could make a wrap into a burrito, right? It's just a mechanical difference. It's not like a chemical or like a bonding difference. It's just a mechanical difference. You just literally just take that and fold it over, and now it becomes a burrito.
Yeah, but
So I'm
I can
not saying
also-
that
I can
I'm not
also-
saying they're the same. I'm saying that is it so far removed to call it a different classification?
I think there are different genuses within the same family.
Right, exactly. I think they all fit under the same taxonomy in that same group, but I don't think they're the same thing. I agree with you that they're not the same thing, but I think they fall in line.
That's like dog and coyote.
But then what is it?
A sandwich is the platypus of.
Like it doesn't have any other.
That's a mammal that lays eggs.
Yeah.
No, but see, that's the thing. So like now you get sandwiches, right? And like
Uh-huh.
what you just showed in a wrap is a pocket. So what's this pocket?
It's an arepa.
But it's close enough to a sandwich.
I
right?
would consider the pocket a platypus more than anything else.
Yeah, I would agree.
Because the pocket is the distinct to me. So like I agree with you. I totally agree with your argument. I'm just saying that I think that we have to look at like I think we're both saying the same thing just from opposite ends. It's just they are different, but they're all like within the same group.
We need a chalkboard.
Right.
Well, no.
You got yarn going between
Yeah.
sections and
Red tape it,
understanding
like-
rattling with a cup of coffee. I've been up for 4
See,
days.
that's the thing. I don't think there's a common ancestor to them. I think they are related.
Uh-huh.
And then
But you don't think there's a common? Okay, so you're saying they have a common ancestor.
Because what would be the common thing to a burrito and a wrap? Is
Well,
it-
I would say like
actually,
a taco would be the
I
common
guess,
ancestor between all three of them.
no, I guess it'd be a burrito.
I think burrito would be
I
like
think burrito is the
You think burrito is the
overall-
common ancestor?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you think that burrito is you think the burrito is an ancestor or a descendant?
I think
of the
taco is the ancestor. Taco
I think
is way
taco is
simpler.
the ancestor and burrito is the descendant. Because you had to start off with a taco first. There's no way you just went straight from wrap. You like,
burrito.
yeah, exactly. There's no way you went from now I have this thing and you immediately went to burrito and then you went back to taco. I
No
think you
way.
went taco first, then burrito.
Because burrito has many more steps to it. You have to fold the ends over
Right.
correctly.
It's like-
Taco, you just
It's like running before walking. Like,
No, I see. I
it's
think
theoretically
I
possible.
think
Yeah.
maybe the burrito did come actually, because the thing is, I don't think tortilla. So the tortilla may not have been the first thing in Mexican cuisine. I think it's actually called it's masa. It's like you're making this.
Right,
thing.
right,
So
right.
it's a tamale, and the tamale is just what? It's like a denser form of a burrito.
But it's not really burrito, right? Because it's like what's inside of it, the part that you eat. Like you
No,
can't
he
eat
is
the external
right.
part.
He is right because it's the same pipe bomb shape where it's like a fully enclosed all
And
the way
then
around.
someone realized, wait, we don't have to make this tamale. We can crush it up and then it
Into a
becomes
sheet.
Yeah, it comes.
Yeah.
It turns into a sheet.
I see the logic with that, but at the same sense, I feel like you had to have passed taco first. You know what I mean? Like taco had to
I
have.
think taco came from the tamal.
Yeah, I think he's right. I think.
But then you're calling
tamale
tamal a burrito though.
No. I think tamale is the all-seeing ancestor, and then from that simultaneously stems the taco and the burrito.
So you think tamales came before tacos?
Yeah, because tamal is the process of making the masa. That's how you come.
So then they had just the like he said.
And actually, there's a thing before the tamal is actually grows. It's called sakawil, where it's like this huge giant tamal they put in the ground, and you can't. It's nasty. It's not good. I don't know. And that's like probably the real ancestor. And then the tamale came about.
I think the tamale because you have just the blob, and eventually somebody realized they can turn it into a sheet material.
So you're saying tamale is the ancestor, then taco, then burrito, or are you saying?
They probably split up at the same time.
You think
once
both?
you made a
You
sheet.
think the burrito?
They have the common ancestor, or you think they're just like on different?
I think
there's the common ancestor.
So you're saying it's like a binary tree. I'm saying it's linear though.
I think it's binary.
No,
so you think that they have? You think that like from? We can all agree. I'll give you that. I think I agree with you that the tamale we could put at the top.
Yeah.
But from that, I think taco came next, and then burrito became from that.
Maybe, but I think it was a shorter distance between the two.
Yeah. Because it doesn't make sense to me logically. Like if you were out hunting and gathering or whatever, and tamale, and let's say tamale came first. Like even in the process of making a burrito, you make a taco first. In the step by step, and in the short time I worked at Chipotle, like, and that's nobody's answer to anything. But I'm just saying, like, in the short time I was there, when you were making it, the very first step you do to consolidate all the ingredients is to taco it, and then everything comes next. So I'm thinking some lazy nigga came along first before they even thought about what a burrito would be. It was like, man, I'm gonna grab this shit like a bag. and eat these ingredients. There's no way he thought burrito first. He or she thought burrito first and taco.
I will agree, but I think the distance between taco and burrito, it's way shorter than you're elaborating.
Right. I don't think it happened. Like it's just too close for you to say that it's like.
I think it happened like.
Okay, so you're saying it's too for me to be sure. So we can agree that we can agree that there's ambiguity there. I agree with that.
I definitely think there's a linear track to it, but
Yeah.
the distance between those two pieces is very short.
So you're saying like
it's so short that it's negligible, right?
Yeah.
It's just like.
Okay, I see where you're coming from.
I mean?
So yeah, linear, but it's negligible.
Yeah, I think like Black Mike came along and made a taco, and then you like 2 days later made a burrito.
Right, that kind of thing.
But I think we're thinking about human advancement too quick. Like, you're like, that's like saying like 2 weeks after we found out the wheel, we had a bike. Like it's like
here's the thing,
I don't think it was. It seems short to us because it's so basic to us. We live with it. But when you don't even have any perception of what, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like this nigga saw a burrito and then was like, I'm gonna go home and make it, or saw something shaped like that. The first thing in this dude's head was, well, I got this, I'm gonna lay this on top of this.
Because the first method is like, is you using it to like pinch food.
Hold on,
right?
I think we're all wrong. I'm looking at this wrong. So let's say the tamale is the hierarchy ancestor.
Right.
It has a more similar shape to a burrito. However, I will concede that in the process of making a burrito, you do taco, quote unquote, the shape. But I think they would have continued the process along because they were more used to seeing a tamale. So I think they would have kept working the shape.
I think it's too close, but I think it's just too
I
close.
see. I'm not discounting anybody's logic.
Because the
here.
burrito
It's not like I was standing next to him while he was making it.
Yeah.
But it's like in my head, the logic seems to concede that if tamale is the beginning of it, which I think there had to have been steps way before that, before tamale was even a thing. So we can.
Well, that's the thing. You make the masa.
You make the masa first, and then the tamale.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're not gonna argue any of that. But I think that if you have this flat piece of bread, I'm not thinking about origami the first time I do that. I'm dropping some ingredients on.
Well,
and I'm eating it
not
folded,
taco.
like
When you get the flat piece of bread, it's never just taco. Like what it actually is used is tortilla. Tortilla is the
it's a basic thing.
Tortilla.
But what is a taco but a tortilla with the ingredients on top?
See, that's the thing. You guys think of Mexican food taco, right? No. Tortilla to me is an everyday thing with my food.
Right.
So
it's a scoop.
Yeah, it's not my
yeah.
fork. It's not. I don't ever use forks.
Right, you grab
for like 18 years of my life, I didn't have meat. Like we had them, but there's no meat.
Right, yeah.
Because you're presented with like meat, beans, and you have tortillas. Just circular like flat pieces of bread. Thin pieces of masa. All you do is rip apart, boom, you pinch and you eat, you pinch and you eat.
Right.
And you roll it into like a little like mini triangle, scoop. You have these two little scoops.
Right.
And then the tortilla came about.
I still think that the similarities between tamale and burrito are too close to ignore. Because I think they're both fully encased something.
I totally agree with you, but in my head, like the thought process is like it would be natural for it to be progressive taco than burrito.
You would think.
Because it just does make sense. It's like, to get to this next thing, I have to go through this thing. So it's like, no matter what, even if we argue the basis before any of this, to get to a burrito, first you gotta be a taco. You have
But you never know. Like,
yeah, it's not like you just like dropped it on the table and rolled around and folded itself immediately. It was like, oh shit, like what is this? It's
Well,
like,
see, that's
you
what-
have to
but-
like do taco.
but see,
first.
that's in your thinking.
Yeah.
Like 2018 when
Because
everything.
you've seen a taco.
Well, and that's the thing. Like we're thinking efficiently, right?
Yeah.
Like to be honest, we're programmed to think efficient. We're programmed for instant gratification in this day and age.
Right.
So like to you, that looks highly linear, highly like leveled, but like
They were used to the
people
shape.
back like we're not sure, right? Like
Yeah.
this is just speculation. But like Nate says, like at the time when people weren't so much concerned with like making things 100% efficient or as quick as possible, like the lines never seem as simple as they are, right? Like it's always like there wasn't a square wheel,
Right.
Like or there could have been.
There was a square wheel first.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. There wasn't a round wheel that was made initially, and then they said, wait, let's try different shapes. It was like things were probably inefficient, and then they said, wait, why are we doing it this way? Why don't we just? Oh, okay, you know that works a lot better.
But
It could be.
So far
yeah.
we have two separate families. We have the sandwich family and the rat family. or
Okay, so
smaller
yeah,
family.
we agree that
there's
we've
different
already
families,
agreed
yeah.
that they're families.
So where does the pocket fall at?
The pocket I said was the platypus. The pocket just has. I mean, even though platypus has descendants, of course, we just don't necessarily. I don't know if we know or not scientifically. I don't know. I'm not on that side of anything. But I want to say that the arepa and all of the pockets are their own like group.
Is that the third thing?
Yeah, it's a thing, and I would almost argue maybe it came before all of them. Because you
Just
would
core
probably
out something?
you just cord something out and dump stuff into it. So it's like
Yeah,
to
you
me,
get
that seems
masa.
like-
It's the same thing
Yeah.
as with tomato. You get masa, you stuff things in,
Like
except
corn
they didn't
flour.
close it.
Right,
Yeah.
right. I feel like you just dump shit into it.
So that's maybe that's the hierarchy of all sandwich is the
Well, actually,
pocket.
well, that's true. Actually, right? Because the thing is, all these foods that we're talking about, tacos and burritos and arepas,
they would evolve from
They-
the arepa.
They're also very distinctly
well,
different
they're
from the
older.
culture. Yeah,
they're older than the
different.
sandwich, right?
I just mean it as a worldwide.
Yeah, because the sandwich is like a newer thing,
Yeah,
right?
'cause if
Like
you treat
sliced
a
bread
tortilla-
and all that jazz.
If you treat a tortilla the same way as if a tortilla was treated the same way as like it was in like Africa and all this other stuff, then theoretically I would say that tortillas and dumplings sit along the same lines.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
they serve
because
the same
you
purpose.
just
for sure.
literally scoop the exact same way you do with dumplings.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, so you
Yeah.
don't whatever.
It's like naan with Indian food.
Yeah,
like that.
they're not eating a whole naan and folding it. It's
No,
like
they
you tear
little
it
chunks.
apart. Yeah, you
Yeah.
take chunks of food with it.
Yeah, you roll it up and it's into a taco shape. That's the same thing. It's just a shape.
See, I think the pocket is the originator.
I would say pocket is more originated than anything else.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Well, maybe open face sandwich first, then pocket.
You know what? I don't think they turned it into a sheet to make an open face sandwich.
Yeah, I think
it
you
was
just
a pocket.
stuff masa. You just stuff whatever dough you have with food.
Yeah, that's
Heat
true.
it up and then, like,
heat it
eat.
up. Yeah, and then open face sandwich came somewhere.
that's what
along
that
after
is.
Because I mean, what did they eat before sliced bread?
Whole bread.
Because there wasn't. Was there?
Basically a calzone.
Because what was a sandwich before the sandwich?
Well, the sandwich didn't come along until we had sliced bread.
That's what I'm saying. Because the sandwich is such a relatively new food
Right,
product.
right, that's true. Yeah. How long has sliced bread was invented in like the 1930s or something like that?
Yeah, something like that, dude. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like.
but see how long it took to get sliced bread? Like you can't tell me that there wasn't like a big gap between like tortilla, like what's it?
Taco and burrito?
Taco and burrito. If it took us that long to be like,
A slice.
let's slice it.
But that's the thing.
Let's slice it.
The
Like,
slice, but the sliced bread, like everybody else wasn't using. You know what I mean?
right, yeah. I guess it depends on purpose too.
It depends
like,
on the area
yeah,
that
because
you're
if you
in.
didn't need to slice bread evenly, it's like I'm just gonna tear pieces of this loaf off and dunk it into something, as opposed so you never really need it. But that's what I mean. That's why I'm saying it, because we can all agree that a burrito is a more complex maneuver than a taco is.
It is.
So
But it is.
that's why I said the thought process had to have gone that way, because it's like it's more complex of a thing to do.
It is, but it is closer. And
People nowadays have seen burritos all the time, and still there are plenty of people that can't fold a burrito. You know what I mean? And they've seen it. So imagine not even knowing that that was a thing, and then you just made it. You know?
Is there, maybe this is a new invention, is there like regular loaf of like whatever, what's the name bread, like Sara Lee bread? It's always sliced.
Pumpernickel! Pumpernickel!
Exactly, a regular loaf of pumpernickel bread.
Yeah, you
And normally you slice it, like say it's a rectangular prism, you always slice it the short way. Can you slice it the long way and make a sandwich?
First off, of course you can slice it the long way. That's just basic mechanics. And then
Like a big like.
Yeah, but I
It's
want
not
slices.
can you.
you get like a
Should you?
baguette from the side. Holy shit!
Yeah, that's
Well,
what I
yeah,
want.
you get a baguette, you cut it up, and
Yeah,
you make your sandwich.
cut it long ways.
But I don't want just one slice like
That's
a sub.
good.
I want
That's all
slices.
Yeah, like you can just make a sandwich out of slices of baguette. Like your sandwich is this long at work.
Yes.
What are you eating, les baguettes?
Is that a thing? Did I just make that up?
I would pay for that sandwich.
It
I would
can't
go
be
to
a
a
thing
restaurant and get that done.
By the way, if anyone listening to this, if you see it anywhere, you heard it first here from Nathaniel.
Right.
Because you can still go to like a local
Property of the Pumpernickel
like a
podcast.
hipster, like artesian craft, like bakery.
You know they buy it.
And order like you can order like a loaf of bread, right? A fresh loaf of bread, like whatever bread you want, and they give you the bread and you take it home and you cut it however you want. That happens. That's the thing.
But
Let me get a long boy.
Yeah, does anyone eat the long boy sandwich?
You know that would be a specialty item in some restaurants. It's just like, look, we got a sandwich that's like,
You know what's out.
we cut it the long way. It's
we gotta capitalize.
And then you get like a beef tenderloin or something that's already long meat, and you cut that long way, so you got like this
If it's
long
not a
boy
thing,
sandwich.
the Pumpernickel podcast
Has not created a long boy.
yeah, and then you have like those long foldable tables where you invite all your friends and you sit there and you try and eat the whole thing in one go.
It's not a regular sub because sub has two closed ends. There's two
Right.
butts.
Yeah.
I want the middle part.
Yeah, you need an actual sandwich. Yeah. And like, and it has to be like, if you go serve it in a restaurant, it has to be thick. Cause ain't nobody eating no 5 foot long thick crust back.
I mean, you could make a thin one for the regular people to come in, but then you could have like a challenge mode where it's just like, we didn't make this thin. It's a full loaf.
a triple baguette, long wave baguette,
No, I'm picturing like a regular sized loaf of Sara Lee,
long ways.
but the same thickness slices.
Yeah, because because you're just talking about what? What are we talking here? Like,
It's a new
12 inches?
ish.
12
Yeah,
inches.
about 12
It's just a square, a rectangular
Yeah.
foot long is what it is.
Exactly what it is.
Just a rectangular.
But no one's done that configuration before.
I
Well,
think
that we know of.
we should sell it.
And you gotta think, we're 5 guys who eat enough food where we've seen a lot of food.
Yeah,
I heard our logo's pretty fire. We should make t-shirts too.
I'm down with that.
People like our logo.
Yeah.
I do like our logo. That
Hey,
was
those,
well
like I
done.
said, the 22 to 23 year old group.
I would wear. Yeah, I would definitely wear that. I would wear
I
our logo
really
on a
thought
shirt.
you guys were bullshitting me for a while.
No, I love that logo. I would wear it on a shirt. Like if I had a shirt with that design, I would wear it.
That means a lot. That's cool.
Yeah, it's fire.
I'd pay for about for 100.
Really?
Yeah. If I saw that shirt in the store and it was like $20, I'd be like,
Yeah, I'd buy it.
Bro, Spencer should probably buy that shit off us. They probably wouldn't even care what it is.
right.
He's right. If I can buy a Reptar shirt, they'd buy a Pumpernickel
They buy a
shirt.
Pumpernickel
The
shirt, yeah.
holy bread. Yeah.
It's
So yeah, so have we fully clarified the bread debate?
I think we
Yeah.
I think we've already
I
established.
think we all know now, hot dogs are not sandwiches.
They are not. They are. So hot dog would be a subclass of what, like the tamale?
It'd be in the same family as the arepa.
It's more of a pocket, yeah, more of an arepa.
Because I would think of it like a jerk. You know how bratwurst they tuck into like pockets.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
and then a hot dog evolved from that. Like I would tuck it in there.
So arepa down to like hot dog sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then split off from there into sandwich and wrap type of thing.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, sure.
There used to be sandwich in column A and then tamale in column B.
What is the one at Kava? Kava is what?
It's like a pita wrap.
That's like a pita.
Yeah, like a pita wrap. But this is funny thing is that we
They're
call it
good, too.
pita wrap, but that's not a wrap.
Yeah, it is because you wrap it up like a burrito or a taco.
The ones at Cabo,
Yeah, they're wrapped. They have an open end.
yeah, it's open. It's like a
wrap.
It's a wrap.
papusa.
No, Pusa's closed like an arepa.
Pusa's a close thing.
Arepa,
that you-
I'm sure, man,
Yeah, an arepa's a close thing that you like cut open.
Yeah, you cut and then you
stuff.
fill. Yeah, so
But
but
it's
that
always
Cabo
close.
does the same thing.
For
No,
some
they-
of their sandwiches, they do.
There's a pita bread that's rolled up.
Oh, they do have that, but I mean like the
But they
one that
also-
everybody
I think they-
gets
I think
is
they
the
have-
one that's like an
yeah.
arepa.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
I think they have one that owns.
Every time I've gone there,
See,
that's what I
That's not a
get.
wrap though. That's like a pocket.
Right, that's a pocket.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's-
so
the other stuff is wraps. So you're
So
right.
they have all 3 levels of sandwich.
I think they do. Yeah.
They do.
Yeah.
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 All the way from ancient pupusa to modern sandwich.
And speaking of which, we need to go back because there's a
Cabo-
Cabo not very far from Nate's house.
Cabo's good.
Yeah.
Shout out to Cabo.
Yeah, Cabo's
Get
good
me
shit.
through UGA senior year.
Yeah, we were there every Sunday.
Hell yeah.
But,
Get that
You
Uber sandwich.
don't love the sauces in those sandwiches, bro.
What?
How could you not?
That's good shit.
Get a large fry with it, set the night off right. Yeah, that was
Buy you a
it.
6-pack of Yingling for $5.
Right across the street. God bless them dogs.
Yeah. They had a
God bless that campus. You could, tearful.
America!
Talk about good eats on that campus, bro. It never went without.
That's a separate conversation though.
All right,
is.
yeah, so that's the end of that one.
So that concludes the great bread debate
Debate.
of 2018.
You're talking like a monkey right now.
Ha! I see what you did there. Excellent segue. Good job.
You don't say monkeys!
Monkeys! Yeah. While we're on that subject,
But no, while we're on that subject, there was an article I read where a guy in India got stoned to death by monkeys, And
how many monkeys?
it was at least like 10, I want to say.
Let's pop this off with next level technology by the monkeys. They took that man out with nukes, as far as I'm concerned.
Bullets.
Yeah.
And like this was it was fairly recent. This was like 3 years ago.
That's pretty crazy. So God knows how far they've come since then. They
Yeah,
probably
real
have
bullets.
guns. Yeah.
That bow and arrow.
No, man, monkeys.
Boom.
They saw Planet of the Apes in there.
All right. First off, sorry for that. Sorry for that family's loss. Yeah, that was
Wait, he died?
He died.
Yeah, he's dead. He is no longer alive. Well, so like they.
Spoiler alert. I haven't seen the movie yet.
Wait,
You know, I was playing
No,
the
no,
screen
so-
right that.
Yeah.
So what ended up happening was he was, I think it was like sweeping his porch or something, and like the monkeys were like on the roof, and they just started like hurling fucking.
what kind of monkeys are we talking about here? Because I'm picturing like silverback gorillas.
Nah, there's no way they're on the roof.
No.
Silverback gorillas on a roof.
That's not.
You got the most
frightening.
That
diesel
is-
roof.
Do you know the level of? Do you know fear, bro?
Bro,
You
a
do not.
silverback gorilla it's got the high ground on you?
Yo.
Nah,
You're
nah.
done.
I'm-
You might as well
no.
be on the ground and call it a day. Like,
A pack of silverback gorillas got
Oh
the high
my
ground on you.
God.
Wait, a
We're
pack?
talking like little chimps or like macaques?
I don't know what a macaque is.
The one that
I
steal
think,
shit in Thailand.
I think those are the ones that are in India. I think
Yeah.
The one
yeah.
the one that was still shiny
There's
shit.
no way
Yes.
it's a chimp either, bro. It
No.
can't be a chimp.
No, it's not a chimp. It's more. It's gonna be more like
Chimps are some bullets,
because this happened in India.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it's
It
probably-
looked like a macaque.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, but like
That makes sense for a pack then.
yeah, they threw a bunch of stones at him, and then he got
They Jerusalem.
Yeah.
rushed to an ER where he died shortly afterward, and it was just like, damn.
What was the cause? Like, were they just like chilling there?
I'm
and
just
they
saying,
saw
the
him
Old
sleeping?
Testament.
No, I mean like these.
Too much people open? That was the one?
My man said he Jerusalem, dude.
That's hard to say. Jerusalem, no?
Yeah, I had to think about it before I said that.
Jerusalem,
My man said he Jerusalem,
They
dude.
went Old Testament on them. Yeah.
It's in the Bible.
Let he who is not a monkey cast the first stone.
Let thou who sweepeth thine porch catch the first dome.
Hey guys, this is a serious thing. A man lost his life. And all.
Let he who sweepeth thy porch cast the first dome.
What's next though, Mike?
Oh,
Were they
sorry.
wearing their
My bad,
Jerusalem?
that's fine.
No, I'm so confused.
Damn, he said what a monkey wearing Nikes.
Oh, no, hold on, I'm so confused. Like, so he was just sitting there swiping the porch.
Yeah, like these
Pack
monkeys
monkeys.
these monkeys were just assholes. Like in the article they were talking about, like the monkeys are just running around just being dicks, like biting people,
he had to
stealing
promote
vegetables.
something.
Like I don't know, maybe it was territorial. I don't know the context of why this happened. I just read the headline and was just like, excuse me, and then like,
You know
fucking-
what? And the thing is, like, that man probably did nothing.
Yeah,
It's just,
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
it's humans. I think it's humans. 'Cause,
You
you
think
know,
so?
yeah, I don't think he did anything to provoke these monkeys.
Because
I
these
think-
these animals are not just territorial. They're not idiots either.
Yeah, right.
Like I've seen videos on like Animal Planet, National Geographic, where like gorillas will like teach each other. I mean, shit, this gorilla that died a while back, a couple weeks ago, that like Coco, that knew how many words and sign language,
Like 700?
2,000,
More
had,
than I know.
had an IQ of like a person's like slightly below average.
Right.
And like the thing is, I remember like a year ago, I saw this National Geographic special on gorillas, and this one guy had followed this pack of gorillas for like a year, and he saw how the female gorillas would go out and like go out to the like pond to get water, right? To like because they get hot, thirsty.
I know what you're talking about. The stick?
Oh yeah,
the
it brings
stick.
us up.
And then the one gorilla like measures because they're heavy, they're too much muscle, they can't swim.
Yep.
But she realized I can use a stick to measure and go in further, take a nice cool bath. The other girl's like, wait, don't do it. She's like, I got this. And she shows the other gorillas they learn. Same thing with these little monkeys. Like,
Yes.
That's why like all these like areas that people have turned into tourist hotspots, monkeys are now addicted to like alcohol and cigarettes, right? Like they've interacted too much with humans. And
So, I'm sure that a monkey isn't pitching like Randy Johnson. But how fast is monkey chucking this rock?
dude, monkeys are pretty damn strong though.
They are, but they don't have like professional, they don't be like.
But they
pitching
are
technique.
dumb strong. I would argue that he was throwing them at paintball level speeds.
No.
Dude, I think those monkeys
Well,
get at
no,
least
think
30
about
miles an hour.
this. Think about this. A monkey moves around by using mostly its arms. it's climbing trees all day. Like
and it's a fucking animal, so its body is more focused on muscle than brain.
True, but it doesn't have
twitch fibers are pretty fucking.
Them fast twitch fibers are ridiculous.
I agree with all of that. I think that plays a humongous role, but they do not have the training and experience of an MLB pitcher.
Well,
I mean, we're not saying they're throwing them like, you know,
I'm
like.
stuck on the sweeping porch comment. I haven't gotten past it.
Really?
I'm still there.
but Nate, we're not talking about the monkeys killing this guy with one throw. Like this wasn't like the pigeon that went
In front of Randy Johnson.
exploded. Yeah, this was. It
That
wasn't.
was the person that
It
pigeon
wasn't like the monkey charged up.
Raising a leg and cocking him back. Bro, if a gorilla let one go, you can hear that before you make contact.
Yeah, so like, I mean,
It was a group. It was a group of stoning. Yeah.
Still, though, I just want to know, like, are they throwing like 40 miles an hour, like 80 miles an hour?
Dude, I want to say we're throwing 20, 25. And a group of them throwing 20, 25 miles stoning.
Yeah, not to mention they're above you, so you got that plus gravity.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, they're
So they're not coming with like MLB style heat.
No. You're not getting.
They're not throwing zingers.
Yeah, you're not getting like 95 miles per hour.
And
Fucking.
be honest, like if you get hit with like at 20 miles an hour or even 15 with like a break on the side of the head, it's simple. You pass out.
Yeah,
You pass out, and then they keep stoning you, and then like you're bleeding out, and by the time someone finds you,
and the fall could have had an impact there.
yeah,
too.
the fall, you land, you crash.
Yeah,
like
so there's a lot going on there.
So speaking of monkey evolution, I watched the Joe Rogan podcast, and they found, not he, but he talked about someone, they found a new species of gorilla. And it's an all-white gorilla, like a white guy. So some of these gorillas have no hair, this one's got no hair, so you can see how diesel it is.
Yeah.
Like a silverback's like a bodybuilder, right?
Right.
But it's only like 5'4".
Right.
This gorilla's like 6'3".
Nah, dog.
Nope.
toss them to kangaroos in Australia. We'll see how it
That
goes.
shit. What?
It would tear that kangaroo apart.
Bruh,
Yeah.
that shit gonna hold that kangaroo. It's gonna tear that shit apart like a chicken thigh.
It'd be like Primal Fury, the video game.
He's gonna pick that thing up by his feet and dangle it for his lunch money.
You gonna rip the legs apart like a flat. And pull the meat out from between them.
Like a chicken wishbone.
Yes, bro. Nah, I would not take a gorilla in anything. The only animal I feel like they could combat a gorilla of that magnitude is a tiger.
I don't think a tiger's taking it.
Dude,
That's the thing that the gorilla,
tiger is
gorilla
brutal.
holds the tiger, like that tiger's done.
I mean, yeah, if it gets a hold of it, but you gotta deal with the fact that a tiger is very, very sharp.
It is, but gorillas got thumbs.
I think the gorilla. I think the gorilla.
Yo, that makes all the argument.
I think the only time.
You think every time?
Oh yeah.
I don't think so, bro.
Oh yeah, dude, this gorilla, like gorillas are fast as fuck too.
They are very fast.
They're fast
and
as
they're
fuck.
incredibly powerful. Yeah.
The only way that tiger wins is if, and it probably won't win, right?
Right.
Because it's got so much muscle. Like, and tigers typically are by themselves, right?
Right.
And you have this like pack of like.
I'm talking
gorillas.
about in a one-on-one fight. I'm talking about like no, that's because anything can be said that way. Like a tiger will lose against a gorilla rats.
But even one-on-one. But even one-on-one, right? Like these gorillas are just like snapping bamboo like it's nothing.
Right.
And like, sure, tigers are powerful, but like, even they wouldn't like typically go off against a big gorilla because like the thing is, the tiger typically hunts.
Yeah.
You know, surprise.
That fight would almost never happen.
But I think if it did and they were both, I think what would happen would be like kind of like if a German Shepherd fought you. I think it would get a hold of you. It would fuck your arm up real bad. But you would.
But you're killing that dog.
Yeah. You kill the dog.
But here's the thing, though.
You're killing that dog.
People die a lot by dogs.
Oh yeah. Well, see, that's the thing.
People die about a lot of things.
Yeah, but I mean, like, that's what I mean. Is like that's why I say like I don't know what the statistics are, but I feel like there are at least a few instances where that tiger's winning.
But see, that's the thing. Well, that's the thing. When you say gorilla, I'm thinking you're talking about the alpha silverback gorilla.
That's what I'm thinking.
That's been fighting since it's like 13 and is now like also.
But it's fought other gorillas. And I would almost argue because I don't know who's smarter between the two.
But
I don't know if a tiger is smarter or less.
I think
smart
what would
than
happen is that tiger would get a hold of its like probably arm or shoulder area.
That's if it gets a part of that though. If it gets the neck,
Well, I
the
think
fight's over.
well, I think
But I think that's what's gonna happen is gonna get a part of that neck. The monkey's gonna be confused for a split second. He's gonna cock back that right fist and crack his head like a coconut.
And that's done.
Well, but that's the thing, like, like tigers always get underestimated in these fights. Tigers have the power to kill bears in a single swipe. If they catch the face, they can kill you off rip.
Same with the silverback.
What's it?
Well, that's the thing. It goes to
Doesn't
the.
mean you're smart.
True.
Yeah,
I'm not arguing that.
yeah.
The smart thing is a different argument entirely. But I'm saying that we're underestimating. I understand. We always agree that a silverback has ridiculous power. But I feel like we still kind of underestimate the power of a tiger.
Oh,
Not
no,
just the speed, but like the
tigers are
overall
powerful.
power.
Yeah, man, those frosted flakes really boost you.
Yeah, but in this
I'm not
argument,
jumping in the cage with a tiger.
yeah, I get that.
See, that's the thing.
But-
We're not underestimating the
Yeah.
power, but the thing is, you're also talking about a silverback gorilla. Like that's the
Yeah.
thing. Like
But
it's
that's what I'm
almost like
saying.
you're
That's why I say like the argument isn't like. But you said it initially like it was one-sided. My argument is that like I'm not saying there's no instance where the tiger or the gorilla doesn't win. I'm saying that it's not. There are fights when it's gonna be either.
Yeah, I mean, like Tony the Tiger can hold his own. I believe it.
Maybe not Tony. Maybe Tony got them hands though.
Yeah.
You see Tony square up. Catch it with a 3-piece.
He boxing Donkey Kong.
Did you knock him out? It was great.
No, but I think out of 100 fights, I think the gorilla wins way more than 50%.
Yeah, because the gorillas also like fight off leopards and stuff. So they're
But a
used to-
leopard's a vastly different size.
But I
than a
still
tiger.
think the silverback gorilla wins more than 50 of those 100 fights.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
I will agree to disagree
'Cause it's
I
used
feel
to-
like
it's
I
used
feel
to-
like it'd be
'cause
50.
I-
They're used to felines.
I do believe, because I mean, like, a tiger ain't nothing to sleep on. I do believe, given the right circumstances, a tiger could win that fight.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I do not believe, if under non-optimal circumstances, that tiger would be victorious.
I agree.
So we're not gonna continue this argument because I think that it's gonna go on forever.
But I did see, what's the kind of short, it's like 2-3 feet tall and it's like kind of orangey colored. What kind of monkey is that? Is that orangutan?
Orangutan.
Okay.
They're incredibly powerful too. They're stupid powerful.
So that's why I brought that up.
Yeah.
It was like 5 years ago. I don't know what I was watching, but it was a tug of war between
One of them.
I think it was 2 bodybuilders and one of those.
Yeah.
And those bodybuilders had like they were at full pull.
Yeah.
And that monkey was just sitting there and it was giggling and it was pulling into the water. It was just bored.
Dude, the orangutan is a frightening thing to look at.
They're-
Because they're strong, but they're like weird, oddly like lanky, and they got that like weird big gut.
Yes.
You pan-faced son of a
And they
bitch.
got these, yeah, they got this like huge like face and like,
Yeah.
And they're always
and
kind
they're
of
highly intelligent too.
The
Like,
little
They're,
smarter.
they're unbelievably intelligent.
The
So
little-
you know
those
he's
are
just
smiling.
messing with you. Yeah, he's just like sitting there like, dude, that's the creepiest thing I've ever
Yeah, and when I pull
Like
you
a
in,
smiling
I'm
orangutan?
gonna give it to you.
Yeah. He was a little too happy pulling those guys into that water.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
You gonna die.
Yeah. It wasn't a big orangutan either. It was
Yeah.
like a 7-year-old kid.
You can have this rope, orangutan.
Bro,
I don't need it.
I really don't need this rope though.
I prefer to be dropped into a gorilla enclosure than an orangutan.
Nah.
Let me tell you why.
Oh, faster death?
Faster death.
I feel like I could reason with the orangutan more than I
No,
can with that one.
I'm taking that quick death because that silverback gorilla is gonna get me. Do the old like grab me by the feet.
You assume
snatch
too
me back and
much.
forth.
Them niggas
I'm
eat
dead.
shit alive too, bruh.
Well, yeah, but he's eating me alive.
I ain't trying to get ate like a great nigga.
But the thing is, the orangutan probably wouldn't do anything off rip. He just look at me, and I know that I can't do anything of it.
That's true.
He gets
but
up
I'd rather be
close.
stuck.
What if he gets up close and like you start to build this like you don't know?
And he starts trying to peel you like a banana.
Dude, what happens when you go to sleep? Like night falls, like you don't sleep day 1, day 2. The orangutan's still just like
Yeah, but
by
they're
you.
not like aggressive like that. So it's not like as long as you keep. Listen, I'm staying on my side of the enclosure. You got the whole rest of the other side of the
But you
enclosure.
No. I think what's gonna happen is that orangutan's gonna come up to you like gotta be friendly and you're gonna fall for it.
That's what I'm saying.
He's
That's
gonna
what I'm
be
saying.
like, he's gonna be like, hey buddy, and give you one.
Yeah,
of these,
he's giving you
but
this,
he's
like-
gonna blow your shoulder off.
Yo, your arm just falls.
It falls on like a G.I. Joe arm.
You try to pick it back up and put it back and it just falls back down. It's like, you know what?
Needless to say, we're just not apt
Yeah.
to take on animals without a
Oh, nigga, we can't take on cats almost. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's
Cats
like
are dicks.
we're not those types of animals. But the
Yeah.
beauty of us is that we rose to the top, and now we feast on those animals.
You feast on cats?
You never had cat meat.
Don't do this.
You never had gorilla. Ain't nobody in this table.
Down at the Asian Pearl?
Huh? Damn. Damn.
On that note,
No disrespect to anybody.
Yeah, no disrespect, man. But I was just playing
No,
off
so-
of, like stereotypes.
let's say, starting with this stoning story of the macaques, that's the start of this. Are they about to switch to the adult and start getting spears and shit?
Dude, we're not that different from them. I mean,
I know. Are they about to start chucking spears at us? You're gonna be out there and catch a harpoon to the
dude, I bet you if you taught them how to shoot guns, they do the same thing.
I saw plenty of these too.
Yeah, I've seen this. I've seen how this plays out.
Do you know how fucking frightening it'd be if you're in the middle of the jungle at night and you hear from the top of the tree?
No, you're sitting there and a silverback 300-pound gorilla hurls a javelin full force across the wilderness.
Bruh, it's sending you right back to America on that javelin.
It's You know that famous mime where people are raising, those 4 guys are raising that flag?
Yeah.
As you like that, but there's a dude at the end of that flag.
Yeah. Take you right back to America. Flew him straight to
This is
Atlanta.
America.
One-way express.
Yeah. That spear should be called Delta.
Damn.
Sending you back to the Americas.
All right, well, I think that concludes the sandwich and monkey debates.
It did. Well, what are we up to?
We are on 49 minutes.
That's not bad at all. All right.
Almost like we knew what the fuck we were doing.
Exactly.
Plan.
Plans. And on that note, y'all,
Strategery.
it's been another episode of the Pumpernickel podcast.
Pumpernickel. Make sure to follow us on Twitter.
Yep, on Twitter.
At Pumpernickel Pod.
Pumpernickel
At
Pod.
Pumpernickel Pod. Find us on YouTube, Pumpernickel Podcast. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button.
Give us likes, comments, anything you guys want to let us know.
Yes, if there's any topics you'd like to hear us discuss, we're pretty much open to almost any topic.
Definitely. All right, y'all. Have a good week.
We'll
Take
see
care.
you next week.
Deuces.